hopefully we have sound. Hopefully we have sound. So. I don't understand this. Download for Windows. Huh. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? All right. I'm trying the chat thing because what I wasn't aware of last night is I was not able to chat with people on Facebook because I was chatting some stuff and I wasn't seeing any responses or anything. So if you were on Facebook wondering why Jack Shadow wasn't answering you, unfortunately that's why. Okay, Cassandra can hear me. See, I can't see any of those on Restream. Any of those responses. Now hold on. Let me try something here. Open in browser. Huh. Alright, now I'm going to write hello. YouTube stream now. Why does it say YouTube stream now? I don't know what's going on. I'm not seeing any of the any of the Facebook. Well, that's no good. That is no good at all. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I can do is I will yeah, I'm not sure why this isn't working. Let me try this again. We're gonna get this figured out, folks. Okay, well, while I'm trying to get this set up, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the show last night. We got a minute before we start this. Okay. I hope you enjoyed the show last night. I really do. That was, I'm sure we'll be discussing that quite a bit. So, see, this is why I get on here a few minutes early every week. All right. All right. Well, maybe something's happening here, and it might be something good. I see a green line. It looks like it's loading up. So, if so, hopefully I'll be seeing chats from both YouTube and Facebook. All right. Let me write something else here. No. Wow, this is going to be horrible if I can't see my Facebook chats. I can't even see the YouTube ones. Huh. Go figure. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and start the show. And, oh, okay. Yes, now I got it. All right, so something worked. All right. All right, I see from Corpus Christine. I see from Douglas. I see from Cassandra. All right, and then I saw something on YouTube from Tom. So, all right, here we go. I think it's a show. All right, we're going to try this again. Douglas has got you on, bud. All right, cool, cool, cool. Okay, hey everybody, this is the Chiller Night live pre-show. I'm Brian Hogue. I'll be your host tonight for for the show. Oh my gosh, Well, thank you for a lot of you, if not all of you. Brad says, what else can I say? Great show last night. Thank you, Brad. Teresa says, hi, Brian. Hey, Teresa. Thanks for joining us. Douglas is on here. I just talked to him earlier. He's going to be one of our guests on an upcoming Chiller Chat episode. Brad says, it's the Chiller Night pre-show with Brian Hogue, starring Brian Hogan. Now, here's Brian. So we gotta officially start the show off with that. So, oh, you know what? I wanted to take a moment. One of our regular viewers who shares a lot of the stuff and really supportive of the show and of what I've been doing here. Charles, he posted where his sister had passed away a couple days ago. So our thoughts go out to him tonight, and our condolences to he and his family. I wanted to mention that. He's been really supportive of the show. Wasn't sure if he was going to join us tonight, so Tatalina says, hi, Brian. Well, hello, Tatiana. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's been a while since I've seen it. Tom says, greetings all. Well, greetings, Tom. Thanks for joining us. Oh, I see you jumped on to Facebook. Here's a weird thing. Okay, speaking of all of this, all right. Last night during the live show. Oh, Cassandra says, that is so sad. Thoughts and prayers. Thank you. Yeah, he posted that on my page, so yes, that's right, Tatiana. I know you, but I'm trying to figure out. It's been a while since I've pronounced your first name. But yeah, he posted that, so I thought I'd mention that. One of our regulars, so our thoughts are with him. Last night we had the very first Jack Shadow's Friday Night Frights. We played the movie Nosferatu. I know many of you stopped in and were watching and chatting and interacting with one another and with Jack Shadow. I had no idea that when I was chatting as Jack Shadow that nobody on Facebook could see what I was chatting. I had no idea that none of this was going over on the Facebook page. So I don't know if you just joined, you might not be aware of this, but I was having some difficulties. It apparently fixed itself out right now. If somebody's on YouTube, hopefully those are coming through. I see all of these comments are now on Facebook coming through, so that's cool. At least I'm getting Facebook again. I was reading them last night. You just couldn't see that I was actually responding, evidently. Corpus says, it seems like it's easier for me to use Facebook. I agree, it kind of is. Brad says, why did the movie start over like that? I'll answer that in just a second here. I want to make sure I'm catching up on all of these. Oh, okay. Ronnie's on YouTube. I see he just said good evening. Fantastic show last night. Thank you, Ronnie. Cassandra says, Friday Night Frights. Corpus says, hiya, Tom. Okay, he's saying hi to her. And Corpus said, better control over commenting. Yeah, well, I think I got everything figured out here tonight. But I didn't know that that was an issue until after the program, where Ava let me know that that we couldn't, you couldn't see what I was actually commenting, just the YouTube. It was just going on YouTube. So Corpus says, so will all comments be showing on our feed? No, you'll only see Facebook. YouTube sees YouTube. I can see both. At least that's the plan. That's the service I'm paying for. So it better be working. Tonight it does seem to be working though, so that's good. All right, Richard says, I'm on the tube, man. Yes. And then Ronnie says, LOL, I'm a woman. Okay. well, thank you for joining us, man or woman, adult or child. We welcome all, And then Tom says, it was stellar, Brian. We had a blast. Well, thank you. Well, let me tell you, and get to Brad's question here. What actually happened? I wanted to let you know. All right. Now I go through OBS Studios. And I have, under scenes, I have a I have a list of topics that I hit that, I pre-program everything. So, for example, I had movie segment 1, movie segment 2, and so on. When I went to hit movie segment 2, we were watching like almost through the entire thing, and I thought, hey, you know what? I can go ahead and delete movie segment 1 now. I don't know why that thought came into my head that everything would work out and that would be okay. But when I went to, I don't know. When I hit that, it started playing. There is no way to do that while this is working. And, you know, I used last night as kind of a practice episode. So to work out some of the bugs. For as long as I've been doing this stuff, I've never done a live Chiller Night Theater, and so I expected there to be a few snags like that, and there were a few. So, but we got through it, and I think everyone had a good time. Corpus said, we can only see comments on the platform we choose. Yes, it doesn't cross over for us. Gotcha. No. The only way you could do that is if you actually opened up 2 windows and were following along on both that way. So yeah, we had an interesting night last night. That was the very first time I've got a lot of positive comments, a lot of positive feedback. Corpus said, I'd say it went very smoothly considering. Well, thank you. I think considering all the things that could have gone wrong, you know, we had a few, you know, we got to watch some of the movie more than other parts, but yeah, we got through it. Craig says hi. Well, hey Craig, I graduated with Craig. Wow, been quite a while ago, hasn't it, Craig? Thanks for joining us. Corpus said no one died anyways. No one that we know of or will admit to during the show. So we did all right considering. Yeah, I agree. I hope you guys had a lot of fun, and it was fun for me. It will be more fun as I get more accustomed to it, just like the first time I did a live pre-show. Yeah, there's a lot of mental multitasking and then hosting on top of that, where this is just as casual as you can get. I mean, it's just me sitting here talking to you guys chatting with me, and so, but when I'm actually trying to do a program, but that was more of a practice launching of the show. So now Tom says, how was the crowd? Did you have a spike? I did notice the online numbers shoot up last night. In fact, you can see them. I think you can see them on Facebook. I'll let you know right now. I think you can see them on Facebook. YouTube, of course, the numbers are on there. I think there's like 90 or something like that. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you live. I'll tell you real time here. Because I'm very happy with that. And I'd love to see that grow, that number. It kind of needs to if I'm going to continue doing this. I really want to continue. I had 90 views last night just on YouTube, and then on Facebook, which isn't bad for a new, you know, it was a new show, new type of show. On Facebook, I will look at this real quick. 271 plus the 90 on YouTube. So if we can get that number to boost up. I had a few ideas about this. I thought, well, what if I offer, you know, prizes available for it, but you have to share the program while it's airing to be eligible for a prize. That prize could be anything from, you know, autographed picture of Jack Shadow or the cast to one idea is I was going to actually get one of the old classic masks that Jack Shadow used to wear. I've got several and maybe, you know, autograph that, have a little note. Maybe that will be one of the prizes. But I don't want to do that unless it's, because those have really been with me for quite a while, since 2006, some of those masks. So I don't want to give those away unless we get like if we get 20 or more shares, then that will be the prize that night. But we'll think of that. We'll think of something here. Brad says the movie was so good it had to be shown twice. Coffins twice. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's why we did it. Sure. Michael says it was a great show last night. Interacting with Jack Shadow as well as the fans was great. Thank you. That was fun. That was different. I did enjoy that. Cassandra says coffins. And then Corpus says, yeah, it was about 90. Yeah. Yeah. On YouTube, that's the number now, and then it's at like to what, 271 or something like that right now on Facebook. So Corpus said that's a landmark prize. That would be one of the ones I wouldn't want to just give away on any, you know. I'd have to see, like, it'd have to be a lot of shares, and then be, that would be worth that to me, you know. That'd be kind of a neat prize. But I think as this goes on, you know, if you guys want to see more of this, if this is kind of a neat thing for you, let me know. It does take a lot of, you know, it's a little hectic on my end, but I'll be willing to continue if you guys, you know, think you want to do that, and we can generate a little bit more viewership. I would absolutely be open for that. I thought it was a neat idea, and we'll see how it works. I think over the next week or so, I will be putting out polls and stuff and asking people what movies would you like to see. You know, some expressed last night that they would like to see another silent movie. Some expressed that they would like to see a regular movie that we play on Chiller Night Theater. And speaking of regular movies that we play, the schedule for tonight, let me show that right now. There we go. At 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Chiller Night Theater, Jack Shadow features Lady Frankenstein. At 11 p.m., Chiller Chat. My guest is Daniel Doing. Now, this is a repeat. Daniel is going to be talking about his comic book, The Fringe Knight. And so that was a good episode. 11:30 tonight, Chiller Night Theater. Our feature is, or Jack Show's Killers from Space. That was last week's feature movie. 1:30 a.m., Chiller Chat. Our guest is Nate Reagan. And then 2 a.m., Chiller Night Theater. Jack Shadow features Lady Frankenstein.
What evil science was practiced in this laboratory of nightmares? Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead? What dread terror stalked the townspeople? The legend of Frankenstein once again brings terror and nightmare to the screen.
Stand!
Joseph Cotton is Baron Frankenstein, the scientist who dared to create a monster. Meet Lady Frankenstein. She's beautiful, she's evil, and she'll do anything for love.
Think of it. Think of me. Think of possessing me. Would you like to have my body bend to you? Would you like to make love to me?
Sarah Bay is Lady Frankenstein. She creates a new, more terrifying monster.
I am my father's daughter.
You are referring to animal transplants.
Human.
No man can escape her web of terror. There has never been a movie like Lady Frankenstein.
Okay. That, if you've never seen Lady Frankenstein before, that is well worth watching. It's an Italian horror movie, but it has that look and feel of the old Hammer horror movies. So it's the perfect Saturday night chiller movie. It really is. It's like probably my favorite, or one of the favorites that we've played on the show. And then Tom says, I'll share 20 times for the martini glass in the eyeball. Well, hey, that actually could be one of the prizes. I'm not going to rule that out. I very well could give that away. But there'll have to be lots of shares. Let's see. Douglas says, I'll wear it on investigation. Oh, that was something from before we went to the break. And then Brad says, we should do this Friday Night Frights again later this year, and like in the late spring or early summer. Corpus says, oh my God, I can't wait to watch this. And then Tom says, was that Joseph Cotten? Corpus says, good eye. And then Ronnie, how about the 1974's Crazed or Screams of a Winter Night? I'd have to check and see if those are public domain. If they are, I could do that. And then Tom says, I love Joseph Cotten, but this is pretty random for him. Now I can check on those. Let me write those down, Ronnie. And I will check on those. As you saw during the trailer, I actually have to edit certain things out, so I'll check and see if it's like an R-rated movie. I gotta edit some language or situations out, so that it can be suitable to watch with the family. 1974, Crazed or Screams of a Winter's Night. I'm writing it down because I don't want to take a chance that I'm going to lose this comment feed. All right, I'll check on that, and we'll see what we come up with. And Richard says, I just want a t-shirt. Well, I will, I was talking to Douglas, who actually is on the feed here watching tonight. I was talking to Doug, and he was telling me about a place in Titusville that does t-shirts. I'm going to check with them, see if I can get a good deal. If so, maybe I can start getting the t-shirts cranked out. I got the hat back here. You see the Chiller Night Theater hat. I don't know if anybody's much of a hat wearer, but we do have those as well, or I'm hoping to have those available. But anyways, yeah, maybe we can get, I don't even know. Here's the thing, Brad. Brad said about maybe in the late spring or early summer. I'd actually like to do, if we are going to continue with this, I'd actually like to do it a lot more frequently. Like maybe once a month, and then even, I mean, if it's really popular and the views are really there, the views would have to be up quite a bit, but I mean, I could even do one every week, perhaps, if the views are that. It would take a lot of views. Maybe just once a month for now, until we get this thing going. Maybe that's just a thought. I'm throwing it out there as an idea. Brad says Friday Night Frights was awesome. You should do more of that. We will see. We will see. I guess that's gonna depend on, some of the feedback I get. Last night's, the views were good. The feedback, man, everybody was doing great here, interacting with each other, with Jack Shadow. Tom says Joseph Cotten started out with the Mercury Theater with Orson Welles, Agnes Moorehead, John Houseman, etc. I did not know that. That's pretty impressive. Brad says, sure, every month if you want to. Well, like I said, if the numbers are there, then I definitely will. Another thing, you guys, Tom says, yeah, build it up slowly. Yeah, the best thing to do is do just that, is build it up slowly, because it's a lot of work. Because when I go to the studio to do it, yeah, that's work, preparation, and but to be here actually controlling it and hosting and chatting, it's quite something, I'll tell you. but if I'm going to do them, I kind of don't want a big gap in time in between the shows either, because there's something to be said about getting familiar with how that runs. And I don't think I'd want to do one and then wait 3 months and do another one. I think if I was going to do this, I would like to at least do it once a month to get it started, and then increase the number from there. Now the pre-show, what I'm doing now, or even Chiller Chat, there's not a whole lot of preparation that I have to do to make sure I'm ready. All right, let me make sure I'm not missing any comments. I'm so glad that this is working tonight. So glad. Looking back through. Oh, Beverly said, good evening, I'll be watching. Oh, all right. Thank you, Beverly. I mentioned Craig earlier. He said hi. Beverly's another one I went to school with and graduated with. So glad you're watching and can join us here. Brad says, you can buy more time every month, either at your house or at the studio. Well, that's what I'm saying. If I can keep them separate, like the Jack Shadow Friday Night Frights, it's still Chiller Night Theater, but, and then it's kind of no different than, you see some of the episodes of Chiller Chat where I'm at the studio filming with a guest, or I'm sitting here talking to a guest, and I pull their picture up like boom, like that, that's the guest I'm talking to. In this case, it is tonight's tonight's movie, Lady Frankenstein. So that's what that is. Look at that. Check that out. But what else do I have here? Oh yeah, I was getting to that. The hat back here, the T-shirts, Chiller Night Theater T-shirts. Those are items that I would like to have available. Another thing I was thinking about. Now you can't see this. I did not realize this last week. But this Frankenstein right here, check this out. Boom. See that? That's what this thing looks like. All right. I didn't even think about this last week. He's green. Well, he's not going to show up. You're just going to see the black face and black hands because I'm chroma keying in front of a green screen. So didn't think about that at the time. So, but the reason I mentioned him. These are they called them jigglers from oh gosh, 1973. I think they started coming out. They're licensed by Universal, and I think the company was Ben Cooper. You remember Ben Cooper, the Halloween Ben Cooper costumes with the face, the little cheap plastic face mask with the rubber band, and the little garbage bags that he wore, little vinyl plastic I call them garbage bags. The little outfits. Those were from Ben Cooper. So I actually was looking for something else online. I happened to see these jigglers, and I remember having these as a kid. I remember having these little rubber characters, Frankenstein and the Mummy and the Wolfman and the creature. And I thought, wait a minute, now I could probably make one of these of Jack Shadow. So I got some supplies here, my sculpting supplies, and I think my plan is to build or to make one of these for this month of Jack Shadow. And if I can get these made, if I do it right, it's been a while since I've sculpted and worked with supplies like that, but that's how I made the Jack Shadow mask. The ones from 2014 and on, they were made by myself, sculpting them and making them out of foam latex. So But anyways, yeah, I'm thinking about making those of Jack Shadow and having them available on the website. And maybe if there's enough shares on the shows down the road, you know, maybe we'll do stuff like maybe a giveaway of a Jack Shadow Jiggler. And Tom says stream it. Stream the sculpting. Is that what you mean? If that's, yeah, I could. I don't know. It might be kind of, if that's what you mean, it might be, I don't know. You might get bored watching me doing that. But Corpus said, "Oh wow, you made those." I made the mask. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of that real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. No, but I I went to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh, and I think I have these photos in this file right here. Let me look. It'll just take a few seconds here. But yes, I made the Jack Shadow masks. I know I have photos here of me sculpting them. And but yes, I did make those. In fact, that's something else I could even offer on the websites down the road is a version of that mask using the actual mold that I wear on the show for Jack Shadow. It won't be foam latex, but I could do a regular rubber latex version of that. Oh, come on, where is it? But that's something I'm trying to think of some merchandise to help kind of defray some of these expenses that it takes to do this stuff. But we'll see. Another thing is the book, the Chiller Night Spirit of Halloween book. Oh, here we go. I'll get to that in just a second here. Here we go. All right, right there is actually, that is me making the mold of the mask. Let's see. Get rid of that. Bring this over. And then what I did was I sculpted I made a positive mold of my face, a life cast. I sculpted on top of that, and then I made the negative mold on top of that, and then you clear out the clay, and then you run a foam latex, and then you put the negative into the positive, and then you bake that. And so it's a kind of a stretchable, foamy material that produces. So I could do stuff like that. But anyways, that was me actually. I think I was making the mold at that point of my life cast. But anyways, stream the sculpting. Okay, Tom says. And then Tom says, I think he had someone make one once, and the guy botched it, so he made them all himself after that. Yeah, actually, the face back here was supposed to be Jack Shadow, and it looks nothing like Jack Shadow, other than maybe a similar color, but it just didn't turn out at all. And then there's another silicone version of the mask. However, that didn't work out either, because you needed to have that tight on your face so that thing moves with your face. And I asked the guy creating it, I said, will you, is that going to be tight? Oh, yeah. It's not. No, it is not at all, because the back of the fabric, it hangs, so it was useless to me. As well as that. That's useless. That is not even foam latex. That's a liquid latex that, is like a rubber material. I've seen those as appliances, but over the head, and that's supposed to move and have a personality. No, that was not at all. I mean, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to have to do this myself. The old, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. So that's what I had to do. Corpus said, that is super cool. Thank you. Brad says, did you know that the majority of American films before 1923 are public domain? That does not surprise me. Those are really old. and most of them did not renew their licensing or their whatever they had to do to renew the film, so that they owned the rights to it. Yeah, because even that was a lot of that stuff was new at the time. You know, I mentioned last night, or Jack Shadow mentioned that you know, about F.W. Murnau, when he was, you know, he was one of Germany's top expressionist horror filmmakers. Well, how it was such a new art. How do you learn that? You know, that was a new that was a new form of art back then. You know, that's why you have the over exaggeration of the actors. You know, they're theater actors. They, you know, they had that transition from, you know, if any of you've done theater, you're acting, you're speaking, you're projecting to the back row, is what the directors will tell you. You know, project to the back row. Well, they don't. You know, now they're acting to a little piece of glass and plastic and metal that's in front of them. You know, so I would imagine that was quite a transition. And then, unfortunately, Tom said, "Oh, Corpus says have to have the movement." Yes, and then Tom says, "Unfortunately, the soundtracks for those films are mostly not public domain." And then Tom says copyright is 75 years, I believe. So, yeah, I don't know. But there are, even though movies are not that old, they don't have, you know, there's still a lot of them that are right now that are a lot younger than that are in the public domain. Obviously, those are the ones that we play for Chiller Night Theater. So, Lady Frankenstein, for example, is public domain. And there are a lot to choose from, so I don't think the well will ever run dry with that. So we will see. Tom says, not sure if it was theater, probably more vaudeville or, God forbid, burlesque. For what? For the acting, the actor. I'm not sure what you mean. I know what you mean by the others, but. For the actors on that were on Nosferatu or the old silent movies, I don't know, but yeah, a lot of them though, a lot of them were theater actors who were now making that transition from theater into film. Even Bela Lugosi, for example, you know, 1931 for the Dracula movie, Dracula. You know, he had played that part like 1,000 times before on stage. I don't know. To me, that would just take a lot of talent to be able to translate that from theater onto film. It isn't the same method of acting. It is a different type of acting. Tom said actors trained. Corpus says the acting movement's definitely due to theater. I would think that had a lot to do with it. Yeah, that would take a lot of skill. Think about it now. Movies are at our fingertips. The disposal of them. You know, we can watch whatever we want whenever we want to. Back then, this was such a 98 years ago, or you know, whatever the movie came out, Nosferatu. This was still a new thing. You know, this was such a new thing, and not only of a viewer sitting there watching the movie, but for the actors. You know what I mean? So they did have to kind of retrain or rethink how they were going to perform. So, and Tom says theater actors back then looked down on film. Vaudeville and burlesque performers didn't care so much. No, I would imagine that they wouldn't be as particular. And then Corpus says stage performing has been going on so long, vaudeville would be influenced by that. And Ava says, hi, Bob. Is Bob here? Is Bob here? Corpus says, theater major. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Really cool. And then Tom says, reform. He counters with the reform theater major. All right, Corpus. You two, all right, what are we doing here? Ava says, hi, Bob. Does that mean that Bob's on here? Is Bob making, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, let me look over here on Facebook and see if I see Bob. I see Bob waving. Okay, now I have to go to YouTube to see that. But I don't see it on my restream. So, but hey, Bob, thanks for joining us. I actually got to see your hand waving on the Facebook. So, I'll have to click back and forth because I still, Bob, if you're writing something, I still cannot see you on the Yes, Tom says silent Bob. Yes, because we never see you on the chat. I don't see you on here. Everyone on Facebook can see you. I can't see you on this multi-stream chat page for some reason. Corpus says pistols at dawn, Tom. So, haha. All right. Well, folks, let me. I was talking about some of this stuff earlier. The book here, The Chiller Night, The Spirit of Halloween. I do want to plug my book because if I don't, well, that's just I wouldn't feel right about it. It's just something I should do. Cover art by Rick Whitlow does a fantastic job. He's done work for me over the years. He is a really good artist. Another, what is it? I'm trying to find some of the artwork here. Huh? Look at that. Look at that. Scott Lubin was the artist that I hired to illustrate the book. He does a fantastic job. That was Jack Shadow, the one and only. And then, of course, the biggest name of all here, Jennifer Sadler, is the author of this book. So she did a fantastic job. I'm very proud of this book that is available. You can go to the chillernighttheater.com. You can go to the website there and order it through there, or you can also find it on Amazon. So pretty good book there. Let's see, am I missing any comments? Let me see if I missed any from Bob. Replying to Bob. Oh, Bob says I'll head over to YouTube. Aha! Aha, that's a good idea. Good idea. All right, we'll see if that works. Tom says I'm still holding out for that Jack Shadow pop-up book. Now that would be a neat idea. I do have a few ideas, and we'll see how these go throughout the year. Frank says I'm here. All right, thank you for joining us, Frank. Frank's on YouTube, so I would imagine that once Bob jumps on there, I'll be able to see. You know, that's a really good idea. I hope that works, because for some reason. Wouldn't that be kind of funny, though, if out of everybody out there in social media, Bob can't get through on Facebook or YouTube? It's the curse of Bob. But I really hope that works. And Corpus said, haha, that would be awesome. Well, let's see what happens here. But let me go over the schedule again tonight real quick. Now, at 9 p.m., Chiller Night Theater, Jack Shadow features Lady Frankenstein. At 11 p.m., Chiller Chat. My guest is Daniel Dewing. 11:30, Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Killers from Space. 1:30 a.m., Chiller Chat. My guest is Nate Reagan. And at 2 a.m., Chiller Night Theater. The movie, once again, is Lady Frankenstein. All right. Uh-oh. I'm hitting the webcam. Why am I stuck here? All right. Let's see if that works. It does not work. Well, now that's just... Oh, I see. See, even though I've been doing this for a while, I still... it still happens. I still mess up. Tom says, and it would be family friendly too. Yes, the pop-up book. Yes, absolutely. And then actually all this stuff pretty much is, as much as I can and make it. Ronnie says a pop-up book would be great. Have a few horror pop-ups. Yes, a werewolf or something popping up at you. That would be neat. I don't even know how to begin doing a pop-up book, but I do like that idea. I think that would be neat for the kids. Maybe I could get something out by Halloween. But I tell you what, I will go through a publisher. I will go through a publisher because to self-publish through, I had this book through CreateSpace. I can recommend, unless you have some great secret, I would say spend the money, go through a publisher. That's just me. If somebody has a better idea, that's fine. But throughout the entire year of 2018, I don't think I sold one book. And I'm on, and you know I'm on here every, and I'm not saying that like, you buy my book. I am saying that only because I will be going through a publisher for the next books, because I don't really have time to publish or promote this myself. I just don't have the time, literally. I mean, if somebody's, you know, retired, or if they are, you know, whatever the case may be, they may have more time than me, and that's all well and good. But for me right now, I think it would be best if I went through a publisher. So let's see. Frank says Stephen King did a pop-up book. I did not know that. That's kind of neat. He did The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. I had no idea. I've never heard of that before. Tom says, except for the undead corpse hosting horror movies. That pushes the limits of family-friendly sometimes. yeah, it's kind of weird because even with that, the kids loved Jack Shadow. In fact, I was more surprised of that than anything else when I was doing the haunted houses. This is how I know that. The kids would run up to Jack Shadow like he was Santa Claus or something, or wanted their pictures taken with him. In fact, when we had the local Zombie Fest events in the area, the years that I did it, I was invited as Jack Shadow to go and host those. And the one year, because of the kids wanting to come up to Jack Shadow, they actually had a photo booth, you know, where the kids would come up and get their pictures taken. So it was just a weird thing. I can honestly say I wasn't expecting that. But I've always kept the show family friendly just because of chiller theater, you know, what I grew up watching. I really think, hey, if you want your kids to get interested and watch these old movies and, you know, kind of have that experience that you grew up with, what better way? And then Ronnie said, I have a few horror pop-ups and they're great fun. I would definitely buy. Oh, that's cool. Maybe it's something I can look into. And then Brad says Seattle. Oh, I missed your in NFL playoffs. Indianapolis Colts beat the Houston Texans, and Dallas Cowboys are beating the. Okay, you're giving a status here. The Seahawks 3-0. Okay, all right. Tom says Jack is such a sweetheart, though. What's not to love? Ah, my thoughts exactly. My thoughts exactly. How could you not love that that undead ghoul? And then Ronnie says Jack Shadow plushies maybe. Hey, keep the ideas coming, because this year, like I said, I think the one I'm going to work on this month is the Jack Shadow Jiggler toy for the kids, and then after that, I do have some other ideas in mind. Michael says Jack Shadow bobblehead, LOL. That would be cool, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So. Let me put tonight's movie poster back up here. Boom. That will be our feature movie, Lady Frankenstein. I hope you are all looking forward to that. I really do. Wonderful movie if you've never seen it before. Now let me tell you, speaking of family friendly, if you've never seen it before, you might want to watch my version. And not just an unedited version, because there is quite a bit of nudity and stuff in there. I think you saw it through the trailer, you know, the stuff that I blurred out. It's you know, if you want the kids to watch and not feel uncomfortable, you can definitely watch my versions of the movies. I make them suitable for the family. Brad says 15 minutes until Chiller Night Theater. And Corpus says Jack needs to check his crystal ball. Yeah. Where is that thing? It's sitting over here. You know, it's funny about that crystal ball because I have to edit that for... You know what I'm thinking about doing is... Okay, the show that we just did last night, I think I'll put that together and maybe I'll put that on Stream TV next week. I'm saying maybe, okay? As the 2 a.m. movie. All right, you know what I mean? Like I don't think that should be a regular 9 p.m. movie because not everybody's into the silent movies. You know, a lot of us are. I like them. You guys, most of you like them, but a lot of the regular viewers and I'm not just talking about online. My numbers are not very high online, but I'm talking about the Stream TV numbers because they've been around a lot longer than me. Are pretty good. So. Tom says that was a crystal ball. I thought it might have been his bowling ball. Yeah. And then Corpus says, I think someone might have bought a book. Oh! Oh, that's cool. Well, if you did, thank you very much. I very much appreciate that. Eric on YouTube says, Sarah Bay is so lovely. Too bad she's depicted with a 5 o'clock shadow in that poster. Well, yeah, I didn't even see that. Yeah, that's artist impression. I don't know. Ronnie says, LOL, good one, Eric. Yeah, I didn't notice that. But now I'm going to take a better look at it. Yeah, boy, that's not very becoming, is it? All right, well, we're just going to get rid of that. You know what we'll do? We'll put up a Chiller Night promo pic. How's that sound? All right. We'll even make that a little better. All right. So, but anyways, Brad says, who also likes Western movies? Well, I do. I absolutely do. Those are. I grew up in the era where, you know, you played cowboys and Indians, and you watched Western movies, and I love that stuff. But anyways, what was I saying? I forget what I was. That's the problem too with me sitting here is I get distracted very easily, and it's all in a good way because you guys are throwing ideas out at me. I'm tossing some back at you. I'm throwing information back out at you. Jesse James, Tom says Jesse James meets Frankenstein's daughter, 1966 flick. I actually started. Taking notes on that one. That's going to probably be a fairly soon movie, at least sometime this year that we'll have on Chiller Night Theater. Cassandra, me, love westerns. Yeah, like I said, I grew up in that era where, you know, we played cowboys and Indians, and I got the old Western, the cowboy comic books, you know, and it was just okay. Brad says 10 minutes until Chiller Night Theater. Corpus said I definitely have to check that one out. Yeah, the Jesse James meets Frankenstein's daughter. There's really a tons of public domain movies. Like I said, I don't think the well will ever run dry. I would love to actually get picked up by a TV station that actually has license. I could play licensed movies. The only problem is I wouldn't be able to play them on YouTube. I wouldn't be able to play these things online. But, you know, that's just how this is done. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Tom says, me too, likely on YouTube somewhere. It is. Yeah, you're talking about Jesse James meets Frankenstein's daughter. It is on YouTube. That's where you're going to find the majority of all these public domain movies. In fact, that's why I can put them on. That's why I can put my shows on YouTube, is because the movies aren't licensed. And if they are licensed, you'll get a violation notice. So, and sometimes they'll take that right off. So, and that's why you got to do a little bit of research. You know, if you're going to be a horror host and post these things, you gotta know which ones you can actually use without getting in trouble. So, but like I said, there's tons of them to choose from, because you not only have horror, but these chiller shows also show quite a bit of the old science fiction ones as well. Like tonight, our second movie tonight is Killers from Space. So I don't like to leave out the old the science fiction ones because there's a plethora of science fiction chiller movies out there of which to choose from. And all right, well, I see it's 8:52. So all right, like I said, throughout the week I will be. Oh, I want to mention something. On and I have time to do this next week as well. But on Friday, the 18th, I'll be starting the live chiller chats back up, and I'll do it on a Friday night. And we're gonna do that, and we're gonna have Doug Hazelton, who's a paranormal investigator. He's gonna be on the show. So we'll start those back up on Friday, the 18th. Chiller Chats. That's my talk show. We talk about topics of horror, science fiction, and the paranormal. So if you like that stuff, if you have an interest in that, then you wanna check that out. That will be live. Again, getting back to the live Chiller Chats, I'll have the guest on. I'll have interaction just like we're doing here, and you can ask questions to the guest, and I will relay those, and the guest will answer you direct. And then Frank says, love sci-fi. Brad says, NBC in Pittsburgh will probably give you a license for Universal horror movies because it was a highly respected from Chilly Billy Cardell. Yeah, you never know. You never know. That would be something if Jack could get down there in Pittsburgh on one of those stations. Jack actually is playing on PCTV 21 in Pittsburgh, but obviously we'd want one of the bigger stations. That'd be quite an achievement that has a license. We can play licensed movies. So, but folks, it is 8:53. I'm going to go ahead and bid you all a good night. But so make sure you get your pizza, your popcorn, your favorite beverage, and get that safety blanket and pull that up around you, and stay safe and stay warm on this night, this chiller night. And Brad says you should give him a call or email about it. Well, you never know. You never know. So we'll see how things go. I think 2019, we're hoping it's a good year to come. I'm sure it will be. And I want to thank you all for joining me tonight and every night that I'm on here, and then just switch over to Stream TV at 9 p.m. where you can watch Lady Frankenstein and Chiller Chat and the Chiller programming all night long until we run until about 3:30 in the morning. So, all right, folks, have a good night. Have a good Chiller night. We'll see you next week.